Amanda Seyfried and Kevin Bacon star in a brand new psychological thriller from Blumhouse called You Should Have Left. Do you leave outside or should you actually watch this movie? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new movie review. My name is Zach. If you guys enjoy movie content, geeky content of all sorts of natures, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on content like this over here on a daily basis, as well as comment down below. You guys excited for this movie? Are you not? Let's discuss it. To the left is about a screenwriter who travels to a remote house in Wales with his family so that he can write the sequel to his big hit film, but he begins to regret his decision after suffering from a severe case of writer's block. The film was written and directed by David Koepp, who's written films say Spider-Man, Jurassic Park, Mission Impossibles, and of course Stir of Echoes. And this is a movie that I didn't really know what to think of. You know, the trailer dropped out of complete random. The VOD release kind of came up out of nowhere. This film kind of, again, came out of nowhere. And when watching this movie, you know, this house location that they decide to go to kind of comes out of nowhere for them. And it's funny how that's kind of mixed in, but this is Blumhouse. And Blumhouse for me is one of those studios that always makes unique films and can push really creative ideas out there, and also at times can make just so-so things. And I'm always a hit or miss with them. Some things I really love by them, some things I just kind of leave going about. And this one I'm kind of mixed on, because when it started, I was not into this at all. There's a lot of weird tonal shifts. There's a lot of weird misplaced comedy in here that really, in a sense, doesn't feel like it needs to be placed in here at all. And throughout a majority of the film, it tries to have these cliche jump scares and cliche horror themes to it that just don't need to be in this film whatsoever. They actually kind of drag the film down, and when it looks at it from a performance size, David Koepp, this film-wise, camera movements and everything that we'll talk about are really well directed. But when it comes to the acting, Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried are pretty much just playing themselves inside this film. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I think they could have gone a little bit better with their performances. And I think maybe some of that goes down to the directing and how you can direct them personally. But, you know, it just seems so cliche in the beginning. And as the film starts to open up and kind of delve into this, the mystery of this house kind of becomes intriguing, and it hooked me for a majority of the whole runtime, where I was going on, okay, let me see where this goes. And I told myself, if it ends in a way that I actually really like it, I'm going to enjoy this film a lot more than I thought it was going to be. And it ended up ending in a way that I got my answers, I felt satisfied, and I went, okay, I dig it. Something different than I've ever seen before, but I really like the concept and the idea of how it ends. And of course, the thing I really can't talk about in this is the giant spoiler, is what's going on inside this house. I think it's actually really cool, and it's a cool concept as well, and it actually makes me want to check out the novel this is based off now, because it is quite unique, to say the least. And again, a lot of that goes down because of the way that this film is shot. The cinematography is off the charts. The camera movements, the swaying of it, adds to the intellectual Inception type like stuff with inside this house that really adds a vibrant but also majestic type thing that really just keeps you on edge as you're just going, what is going on? And it feels like a giant puzzle piece. I don't know how they did some of the sequences in here, but they look really unique, and the concept alone, again, really fell in its whole entirety really good because of the cinematography and that camera movement. I think that's actually what elevates this film to that next level and actually made it better than what it should have been. I think those elements actually were part of the things that actually kept me intrigued with the whole concept in general, because the story starts playing out and you're like, all right, I don't really know where this is going. And the synopsis, honestly, for this doesn't really give much away. I'd actually far to say, reading that synopsis, I can't tell you a single thing. Like, that synopsis, I didn't get much of any of that besides the family traveling to Wales. It felt like they actually traveled there for a completely different reason. That was more of just a subplot that kind of never went anywhere, and maybe then now I'm just running on a tangent. It's just kind of weird that that's what they would do it as. Coming from someone who actually didn't even watch the trailer for this and kind of just saw snippets and clips and pictures, and I went, okay, this looks like a typical horror film. It turned into a little bit more than that, and it's more than I was expecting it to be in the very least, and that's what I can really give this, because overall this is just a fine movie, but one that I feel like if you're just needing something a little bit different to kind of spice up your afternoon, this is one that can possibly do that with the intriguing tale and story that it tells within here, with the unique cinematography and cool camera movements. And again, you're not going to get the best acting in here, and I wouldn't even go as far to say you're going to get any horror moments in here. It's psychologically torturing to your brain, and not a bad way in any means, but one that keeps you intrigued. Give me my final thoughts on You Should Have Left. Make sure to comment down below again. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for this movie? Are you not? Let's discuss it down below, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button if you guys are new here so you don't miss out on geeky content like this over here on a daily basis, as well as head on over to Sam Sean Films on how to see films early. And of course, it's a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. To the Left is a very intriguing film for me. It's a mixed one. It's a mixed bag in a sense, because the performances in here are fine. They pretty much just play themselves. And I think David Koepp's directing is actually one of the things that elevates this film at times, and also didn't. He didn't get the best performances that I possibly could have wanted. Some of the tonal shifts in here are very misplaced, especially with some of the weird comedy and some of the weird line directions I didn't completely get, and I think that's actually where this film falters. The first act is very weak and was kind of hard to latch onto, but once the story did kick in, I was intrigued to finish it out and figure out where this mystery was going, and by the end, I felt satisfied with the answers it would give it. It's a very unique concept. There's ways that you can play about and the different interpretations that you can kind of come into the ending. The cinematography, again, is once again really the highlight of this film, especially with the camera swaying and the moments and the movements to all of it. It's really unique, and I think a lot of that, the mystery aspect of it alone, keeps you intrigued and will keep you involved inside this film. This was a much better film than I thought it was going to be, and it's one that I think if you decide to rent or stream one day, you're not going to regret your choice. I think you're going to have some fun with this film, and I think right now that's kind of what we're all looking for in a psychological thriller like this, and one that really just came out of nowhere. And honestly, there are going to be some moments in here that do kind of stay in my mind for the rest of the night, especially when I go to sleep and hope that my house isn't like this one, because this one was quite torturing. So all that said, I'm going to give You Should Have Left a C. Thank you once again for clicking on this video, guys. You're seriously all the best. Make sure to leave your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your guys' thoughts on this? And currently right now, what's some of your favorite Blumhouse films, or like the most underrated ones? Let's discuss it down there, guys. Thank you guys again, and of course, until next time, stay classy.